guys, we're back. We're going to talk about today a song that really fucked me up, and a band that fucked me up even more. Really opened my eyes to a whole again, like everything with these Punk-O-Ramas. When we're going through Punk-O-Rama Volume 3, and it feels like almost every other song, like fucking can introduces you to a whole other world of something, right? Fucking no effects to fucking, to that punk, music to fucking suddenly you can listen to all touches my bases on, like straight edge. We talk about straight edge now, and then fucking ska with the skulls. And now we got Agnostic Front Gotta Go. And this was fucking the second song I heard of Agnostic Front, because they are on Volume 5. But this song just messed me up because it was so fucking fast, and the way the song gets completed, it has this violence, anger through it, and kind of like the All song too. I remember walking around my high school, like trying to just, I gotta go, gotta fucking go. I was always in this hurry, this ADHD kid, ADD, always fucking hyper, and the slowness shit bugged the fuck out of me. And so when I heard that song, it fucking really threw me in. And it's like the first song I think I heard in punk too that had the oi, oi, which was gonna kind of share this too, because I didn't ever really talk about this too much. But when I found out, like when you first start like searching Agnostic Front stuff, it has like a lot of like skinhead shit, and that was always like known to me as being like really bad, like really negative. My dad went to prison, and when he was young, when he went to prison, when he got out, he had fucking, these friends that said like P and pin 1 that have swastikas, and he'd be like, these are nice guys, and they would help me with my math homework, but they were not good guys, right? Very horrible shit. And so I listened to like oi stuff, and it was like had that kind of like oi punk stuff. The energy of it I remember kind of liking, but the lyrics were complete trash. It was so fucking, it was the opposite of anything punk could be. And so I had this already very negative notion. And then also like in fucking like mainstream culture and stuff, in movies or like Law and Order, it was always these, American History X. These fucking skinheads are fucking garbage people, right? They're fucking like, how can you, go and like fucking produce fucking fashion, which punk also gets you further, I think, into politics to a way to where like that's the last thing in the world you'd ever fucking want, is like a fascist fucking government, people telling you what to do, how to do things. And that's what the whole skinhead thing was to me. And then I got interested in Agnostic Front, and I was like, why are these guys even on here? What the fuck is this? But the song was so good. It was like, I went out, and it was like these punk volumes. I would get them, and I'd go to like a store, like I said, Zia Records, whatever. And I'd like shop through like a catalog, and I got this fucking record here, Something's Gotta Give. And when you open it up, that's like the first thing I saw was the boots. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is not good. This is bad skinhead shit. And so it put me down this whole little spiral of learning that like the whole skinhead culture originally came from like working class, like in the UK, brought over here. And it was not racist. It was actually more about like just, protecting, thinking about your, kind of having a place to go to, but also like more like workers, and about unity, and all the same themes that punk had to go through. And the fucking racists stole it. And this is when I got into it. I was like, those fucking pieces of shit stole the skinhead name. They totally stole this fucking, fucking thing from us. And so yeah, fucking Agnostic Fronts fucking was dope as hell, because they kind of took it back, and they not only did they take it back, they really brought it back. And then so this band introduced me to the NYHC. I remember like even seeing the logos on kids' backpacks and stuff. I had no idea what that fucking was. And I was like, what's this hardcore, New York hardcore? What's all this shit? And because of Agnostic Front, got me into that. Then I found out what those kids were talking about. Then plethora of other bands. I learned all about like, the Lower East Side, New York, Benny Stigma, kind of talking about it briefly, how fucking much he would like just let bands stay in his apartments. What CBGBs even was, I didn't know what CBGBs was. This like brought me to this whole fucking like lower like New York punk, and older punk too, which kind of borderlines some hardcore, to freaking some of my favorite fucking bands in this world now, like Agnostic Front's up there, Sick of It All fell in there. Madball, Bad Brains, Cro-Mags, again, kind of was on my journey with other stuff too, was like kind of touch base on like what straight edge was and shit. So yeah, I guess I have a lot, I'm like rambling right here, Mike, you just listen to me fucking ramble like a loon. But this song fucked me up and it also really brought it into it, and that's why it was also kind of good because I was able to start getting it back, because it was like, no, so the sound and original ideas and everything of skinhead culture was good and was ours, and those fuckers are the ones that stole it. And that's why I think they fight so fucking hard, because they were the pioneers in fucking, what punk rock and skinhead and the hardcore fucking thing was. And just because these pieces of shit that shouldn't be given any fucking like spotlight at all, try taking it, we're not gonna change for them, especially in that attitude. Like, oh, because these guys are taking our shit, stealing our sound, taking our shit, should we change to separate from that? No. We're gonna continue being who we are. And once you learn about them, you realize it's like the furthest fucking thing from the truth. And okay, anyhow, what do you remember when you first heard this song?
I do remember this is my first introduction to, I'd say, hardcore punk. Well, hardcore punk or hardcore, and it led to other hardcore bands that I would listen to. I started listening to like Sick It All, like all that New York hardcore scene that I really got into, and then it would just kind of like Gorilla Biscuits, and it just kind of went from there. I started listening to Minor Threat, started getting into straight edge, or at least the ideas of being straight edge. But yeah, it blew me away, because then it led to other bands that were like hardcore bands like God damn it, Earth Crisis,
Madball.
One King Down, and Madball, and just like a ton of other, like, I can't even think, like, some reason the words are not coming to my, but
There's so many of them. H2O is, I think, in there, but they're on this as well. But
and it was another style of punk that I liked. And yeah, and then, like he's saying, where, they tried to steal it, all the fucking Nazis with their fucking bullshit. And yeah, you got to defend the scene. But it was, there was another group that came of it, which was Skinheads Against Race and Prejudice. And then they would fight with the fucking Nazis. And, but yeah, it was very working class. And that's what drew me into it. And it was tough. And then you go to those shows and the pits were wild. Fucking wild, big old circle pit. And the guys were too, like, I had spoken to Vinny Stigma, and he seems like cool as fuck. Like, I've never had a bad interaction. I like said a few words to him. It's not like I had carried on a big conversation. But during the time I talked to him, I just said, I really like your band. And he's like, yo, thanks, man. That really means a lot to me. And like, just for him to say that, I thought was cool as fuck. Like, he seemed really cool to me. So that, and what's crazy is Roger Murad, or I don't know, Murad, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name. His son at the time it was drumming for them, his actual son. So it kind of goes full circle. It's fucking crazy, but he's like, man, I don't want my son, man.
I think fucking the lead singer of or a member of Madball was Roger Moret's brother, wasn't he? I think there's some relation there.
Talking to, I don't know if it's his
cousin, brother.
What is his name? Yeah. What's that cat, guys? I know you're talking about the lead singer of Madball.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Madball too. They were sick. What's his name?
I could look it up. Let me see. But there's that connection. Which, yeah, when you, I guess, did you know what Skinhead was before you listened to this album? And I guess
no, I didn't.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
I didn't know, like, if this is considered street punk or oi. I really didn't know. This is my first introduction to hardcore. Like,
yeah. And what about like skinhead scenes? Like, did you in your head, like, because like movies and TV, I think had these like portrayals of like Nazi skinheads, American History X, that movie. Like, did you know there was? I guess did you know what?
No, I knew there was skinheads or Nazis in the scene. Yeah.
And did you know yet of like anti-racist skinheads? So like, did you know like that even existed or?
Yeah, Sharp. Is that what you're talking about? The Skinheads Against Race and Prejudice?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the ERA, which is like anti-racist action.
I don't know like any of those things, but.
So when I went to shows, there was another group, but they would sell merch, and it was said follow your leader, and it had Hitler blowing his brains out. It had a lot of like anti-Nazi shit. It had a little fucking circle with the Nazi buster in it.
Did you ever see the one with the swastika going in the trash and saying,
Yeah,
"Clean
that
up-
was
clean up
an
the mu-
ARA shirt. Yeah,
Yeah, clean up the
American
community.
Clean or
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I had that shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened to it. It sucks, man. I had a ton of really cool shirts. I had the Hitler one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't
here's
know
the
what the fuck happened.
connection. So, yeah, Freddie from Madball is the younger half brother of Roger
Oh.
from Agnostic Front. That's how they all fucking intertwine. Which also goes into, so when like I said, I had like, especially with my dad being in prison and knowing that thing, I had this like very negative thing of Skinhead. It's like they were fucking Nazi. They're a piece of shit. They were their own gang. Usually prison fucking shit too. And then I get introduced to like Agnostic Front because I saw those boots and I was like, whoa, did I just, what am I supporting here? What did I just buy? I was fucking kind of scared.
It's okay.
That's why, yeah, but I started.
You don't know at the time.
You don't know at the time, so I started going down this whole rabbit hole, and then you find out, oh no, these guys were like the fucking pioneers of
They were.
fucking that shit, pretty much. Roger Moret's Cuban, Benny Stigma's Italian. They're not fucking white supremacists. They're and like you said, the most down to earth fucking people. They helped out tons of. They basically is what kept CBGB's fucking going for as long as they did, having shows there all the fucking time. And like you said too, it was just different about that even scene, and even going from like, punk show. I remember like a boxcar racer, or I saw like a Rancid show too.
It's a different element.
They're tough
It's a
fucking
different
dudes,
element.
but
Yeah.
you're also cool though because of those fucking just like tough fucking. Once you get cool with them and stuff, it's like you feel like you got this real good like ally too. You're like, fuck yeah, man. They're the most fucking coolest fucking like that. That's why that scene is so important, because especially probably in New York and shit, man. Like it's way tougher, it's violent, especially when they came from. It was a fucking different fucking like world of what we even can imagine punk is. How violent it was, how fucking much drugs was going around and stuff, to where that's where like a lot of straight edge came from, that whole area basically. I guess DC too, but man, it fucked me up, man. So I should read the lyrics to it too, because I don't even think the lyrics are too profound, but on the CD too, it says "play it loud, motherfucker."
I love it.
Like they're just like and being at that age of like 14, where I probably have this testosterone all going through everything, and there's the New York hardcore fucking scene.
Oh, hey,
like,
I got it.
And oh, do you?
Statue of Liberty.
Nice, dude. This was the band, man. These guys freaking changed my life. In a way, in a crazy ass fucking way. And they even they have to write it in here. This is part of it. I forget the whole thing too, where it says editor's note, and you have the Skinhead and the Punk kind of together. And I started like learning about like, okay, so it is important to not to keep the scene going here, but we have to. But okay. And again, I'm gonna just switch it to online here to read the lyrics about it, because trying to read the handwriting is a little much. But again, this is a very quick song, but the breakdowns and everything is awesome. And I was just telling Michael when I listened to the end, it's Tim Armstrong that sings at the end of that too.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, gotta go, but he's screaming it, man. And it's a song you can just scream. So yeah, lyrics, very simple lyrics too. From the East Coast to the West Coast, gotta go. True sounds of a revolution, gotta go. In our hearts and in our souls, gotta go. United we stand, divided we fall, gotta go. Then oi, 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 oi. Can't keep in touch with you or me, gotta go. Need sense of security, gotta go. Want to live my life for me, gotta go. Why can't they just let me be, gotta go. Say I'm crazy or just brain dead, planting thoughts within my head. Can't believe what I've said, what has become of me. Don't believe what you've been told, gotta go. Never seen no streets paved in gold. Mindless violence ruined me, gotta go. Nothing, no such thing as something free, gotta go. Say I'm crazy or just brain dead, planning thoughts within my head. Can't believe what I've said, what has become to me. And then gotta go. Gotta get out of here, gotta go, I gotta go, gotta get out of here. then guitar solo, and that guitar solo, you hear him scream stigma and fucking just he freaking it's not good. It's a little like unpolished, but it's freaking just hits you. And then it just ends with Tim Armstrong screaming, "Gotta go, gotta get out of here."
I just want to say, like, real quick that fucking, I was at an Agnostic Front show and Stigma was in the middle of the pit. Funny.
He's a fucking.
He's fucking.
He's gotta be the punkiest, baddest
He is the
motherfucker
coolest
ever.
fucker ever, yeah.
And
He
he's
was literally playing his fucking guitar in the middle of the fucking pit.
not to sound
It was
too
insane.
much, but you learn about him. Like I read a book. He has a book too called "The Most Important Person in the World," or most interesting person in the world, rather. He's like, you start, especially being that young. I start like learning, like even with Tim Armstrong too, you know, where he's fucking puts out his own label. But when you learn what Agnostic Front did and Stigma, and you go to their shows, and they're actually, again, I talk about that Operation Ivy kind of feel with that crowd. It feels like a gathering when you go to a hardcore show, you know, especially. I never got to see Agnostic Front, unfortunately, but you know, I saw Madball, I've seen H2O. It was a different fucking there's such this like unity feel to it. That's what it says in there. You know, united we stand, divided we fall, and there's this very like big camaraderie, especially being that young, feeling like an outcast. Finally got people that are your back, and these guys are like fucking tough as nails, violent shows, but fun. They're not fucking. Let's say this too. When you're at like a hardcore show and someone falls down in the pit, what's the first thing that happens?
You pick him up.
You pick them the
Not trying
fuck
to
up. They're not fucking people up. To where when I went to shows that were like hardcore a little bit later on that had more of this like what is it like that drop D, that heavier sound versus like this song doesn't really have that. Well, no, what I've noticed is like it kind of like went to this like more mainstream hardcore shit where they would like really start freaking their arms and stuff, which I don't like it. I don't know how you fit. It's
I know.
stuff. But they would just fuck people up a lot of times. And I guess that's where I would break it down from like the true best and not in my head, whatever. I'm just being opinionated here, but it's how I felt.
Yeah, they're not really trying to fuck people up. But there's I don't know if call it a subset, but there's heavier hardcore, which is called beatdown hardcore, and that's where they actually hit each other. What the fuck is it called? When it I can't remember the name, but it's called beatdown. I can't remember. Crowd killing. They crowd. But the thing of it is they don't crowd kill random people. Everybody there is in on the crowd killing.
Yeah.
It's not some random person that gets crowd killed.
It's all consented to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows there's going to be crowd killing. So everybody that likes to crowd kill gets to the show and starts punching each other.
And there was
Pretty
like
much what it is.
there was like these different sects to it, and I guess more with like the you know, epitaph type bands of the hardcore. When I got into this shit where when I was that young and I'd go to these shows, small shows, scrappies, like never like these bigger venues either. Fucking in school, you're like, I had like all this anger and violence while I'm listening to most of this fucking music too. And this song was like, again, just really hit me, but gotta go. And you know, they're fucking planting thoughts in my head. Fuck you. It was like a lot of the shit I felt like, you know, but you're in this weird element to where not supposed to fight, you can't do this, but what was like, you know, so I had all this like I think like testosterone and anger, and when you go into a fucking pit, a punk show or a hardcore show, it's all consensual, but it's like a place to where you can finally like you want to get fucking hit, you want to fucking hit back. It's fucking fun. You don't want to get someone super injured, and if they don't consent to it, that's really fucked up. But it was a place to where, I mean, it was like a type of therapy almost, right? It was a way to get all my fucking anger out, get fucked up. Because sometimes I didn't even want to, like, you know, it sounds masochistic or whatever. You'd go in there just fucking pissed, raging. And when some fucking dude fucking pushes you, it fucking felt good. It feels fucking, there was the violence, man. It was just, it's being at that young of an age too, you fucking, I want to say you needed it, but maybe it's not, you know, the same for everything. But I know I did.
It's a release. That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's a release. And it's an emotional release. It's like therapy. And you go, and I remember just being in shitty fucking moods, and I go there and I sing my ass off. I've been hit. You literally calm the fuck down. Like it's that so much of a release is like you're driving home and you feel very calm. Like very calm. It's kind of like if you've ever done any training, boxing or martial arts training,
Mhm.
at the end of it, or even running, like if you've ran a long distance,
You can.
you feel very calm and at peace.
It gives
And
you
it
a
was
high.
yes, it was the same thing.
Mhm.
And that's why, you know, people are so in, because you're letting it all out. It builds up, you have no place to let any of this shit, aggression or anger out. And you get with all of your people that are just like you, and you just let it fucking go. And then you're just calm and at peace.
And you know what was for me too, and I'm gonna kind of ride on that pigtail, because again, when I'm listening to stuff, it was a high school and everything, I fucking did not do, I'm so getting annoyed with that shit. I watch it, ding, 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 I gotta fucking let her know, like, come on. But no, fucking, I probably should have went into like sports, right? If I was like, you know, into that, but I refused to because jocks were fucking dicks at my school. And they were usually stupid, and they were like, I couldn't connect with, like, I remember like you were saying, like, I want to be almost everything fucking opposite. I don't want to fit into your shit, even though I like football and stuff, but I got so, like, even though I was into football, I actually turned off into my high school years because fuck them. Like, the shit was stupid. That mentality of jocks was just fucking, very unwelcoming to me. And so I had probably no outlet besides skateboard and rollerblading here and there. I had like no real outlet to use all that energy and shit. And I'm just keeping it bottled in, probably getting more annoyed. So when you would go to a fucking hardcore show or punk show, like you said, it was the same as like riding or jujitsu or fucking fight. It was the same fucking thing to where finally you can just release all this shit out.
Yeah, I played sports. I played a lot of sports in high school. I didn't necessarily agree with the jocks, but I did play a lot. I didn't really fit in with them because, obviously I didn't have any friends other than like the punk rockers. But I did like sports and I did enjoy sports.
You're wearing a St. Louis baseball hat too, dude.
Right. And I think also too is like I remember straight edge wearing a lot of the baseball hats, and it kind of appealed to me. I was like, this is cool. They're wearing baseball hats.
Yeah.
At the time.
It's actually going on a tangent here. Punk rock's what got me into hockey because I still liked the sport. Like, sports is fun. Like, you know, that's why now later on I can fucking get into it. But I know hockey was not popular, right? Everyone needed like baseball or football, basketball. Hockey wasn't really watched. It was kind of more of like the underground of like sports, if you will. And then I heard like Canadian bands like Propaganda, they liked hockey and shit. So I guess, and it's so immature and like stupid probably. I was like, oh, so that's okay. But then I started really getting into it because like, yeah, not only is hockey the fucking probably like toughest fucking sport because you can literally fucking fist fight in a hockey game. Very little fucking jocks even at my school knew hockey. Like, it was hard to follow. Like, people don't follow it. It's the least popular of the mainstream sports.
Yeah, I like hockey. I play hockey. I mean, you know, I play hockey like all the time in a men's league. Like, I play it all the fucking time. That's another good outlet.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just want to say that. Okay, we'll move on. I don't got anything else to say besides Agnostic Front's probably the greatest band fucking ever. Definitely in my top, probably, I want to say top, it depends on my mood again too. It's always how you go through favorites, but this band fucked me up. Their lyrics are super intelligent. It's all about unity, and it's one of the bands that really got me thinking about things, and I had to dig into things and find out about things. And again, it was a nice gateway drug to fucking hardcore music and all these other great bands that just fucked me up even more. You know, and get you the whole Punk-O-Rama Volume 3 to think to that. I'd literally take all the ones that I liked, which was pretty much the whole fucking comp, and then go into the fucking Zia record store and be like, okay, can I buy this one? Can I buy that one? You're always trying to find used. I would buy this is what's fucked up. I would buy CDs and then I would burn them and then take them back and sell them to them and then try and buy another one. And I kept just losing my money gradually, but I was gaining all these CDs so I could burn them. So it seemed cool. But there's some that you just couldn't fucking sell because, dude, when you get this CD,
Didn't they just anti-burning ones? Or no?
Leftover Crack does. No. Well, I don't know what you mean, but there was like CDs you
Ones where you couldn't burn.
I never came across that. But I was thinking of the opposite. Sorry. When you would get some of these albums, like Leftover Tracks specifically, where they would say, go ahead, burn this CD, fuck them. There was things on there where it was like, if you're spending more than $6 on this record, you're being ripped off. There's like things like that. It was cool. But Agnostic, this is one where I couldn't sell it because there was just it's back when CDs and records are so cool because they put so much fucking artwork. I would read it and listen to it and became my life. It was like a fucking, it was more than a hobby, man. It really was like a way of life at the time, man. This album was one that just fucking the great. Got somebody's got to give the album Agnostic Front. It's like a little shooting scene on the back. Everything about it was just fucking dope. Again, Epitaph Records. Thank God for Epitaph. What were you gonna say? I said something about the $6. It was like saying,
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, it's just stupid. But so these comps are super cheap, right? And I actually, it was that I bought this comp, and it was called My So-Called Punk Rock Life, and it was like $10 at the time, or $9. Yeah, it was probably $10, and it was the worst comp ever. So I always said that if you buy a comp more than the Epitaph Records comps, then it sucks. Because for some reason it was fucking horrible. I hated it. So I just thought I'd say that.
no, it's fucking true too, which also is why you knew that they cared about their audience. They cared about people because fucking they made the shit affordable. They didn't have it, you know, you didn't have this thing, and it was more than like one good song. So it was a lot of good songs. You could tell they were very true about it. And speaking of Agnostic Front, so a couple cool things about them, I should say real quick, is they did one of the things that got me hooked in, speaking of kind of on that, a pay what you will tour. This is before Something's Gotta Give came out. It was after, it was in their earlier days around like the United Blood and shit. But basically they lost money on it overall, but they were basically just taking donations at the door. You can go see them, pay what you will, pay what you will. Very Benny Stigma type of thing at Lower East Side, like just looking after the community, just, you know, help out the bands, buy the merch, we need to give it to the venue. So they ate a lot of money, but they weren't gonna put a fucking sticker on this thing, because if you really, you know, were homeless or you couldn't fucking go to a show or whatever, hey, Agnostic Front got you. Cool fact about Agnostic Front, guess who opened up guess who opened up for Agnostic Front? Huge metal band.
I don't know.
Metallica. When they were doing the Fuck 'Em All, or it was supposed to be Kill 'Em All album.
Seriously? Kill 'em all?
Yeah, they're around then.
Holy fuck.
Agnostic, they opened up for Agnostic Front, bitch. Cool too. Also, you forget about the whole Lower East Side Beastie Boys. Before they were a rap band, they were hardcore. They were like punk hardcore, and they fucking played with the Agnostic Front. I mean, there's probably so many. There's so many that did, but
their Beastie Boys was after Bad Brains. Like they named their
yeah, the Beastie
Yeah, the
Boys, the
BB,
Bad
yeah.
Brain, dude, like
fucking band in DC. That's it. That's sick.
yeah.
That's good. They had some good fucking songs. Bad Brains.
Man. When you got it, there's like a movie too that helps it. It's called American Hardcore, but there's this if you haven't done it, learn about New York hardcore. Do yourself a favor. It'll change your life. It's the greatest bands that came from there. Agnostic Front's one of them. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
All right.